Today we're getting off the ship to explore the island of Bermuda.
Give it a go, don't waste your time, 'cause you're running out. Give it a go and ask her out. Only takes a try, yeah. Even if she tells you no, then at least you know. So give it a go, give it a go.
This was our first time being on land in 5 days, and we were so excited. We're on that. Actually have a snorkeling trip booked for later, but right now we're gonna go and explore the city. Cruise ports are always interesting areas to explore, and we love just walking around and seeing what's there. The one thing we noticed right away was that many of the buildings were this light tan color. It was really unique and pretty. Bermuda has a lot of limestone, so therefore the buildings are made out of limestone. And of course we came across the typical tourist shops and also a little market that was neat to look at. We were at the King Wharf cruise port, and there seemed to be lots of historical buildings here. There wasn't any internet on our cruise ship due to a broken antenna, so we weren't able to look up the history of this area beforehand. But as it turns out, this port in Bermuda was once Britain's largest naval base outside of the United Kingdom, and it played a vital part in the strategic defense of the Western Atlantic. After we were done looking around, we actually went back to the cruise ship to have lunch and get changed for a snorkeling adventure. Now it's time to go snorkeling. We booked a snorkeling tour that would take us to a couple shipwrecks so we could snorkel on the shipwrecks. However, upon boarding, we were told that the conditions on the shipwrecks were not conducive to swimming, and there was also a lot of blue bottle jellyfish around the wrecks that might harm us. So they were going to take us to a different snorkeling spot. The one thing we noticed right away in Bermuda was how turquoise blue the water was. This footage does not have a filter on it, and this is actually how blue the water is. Bermuda has this really unique water color because the water is relatively shallow and the sand is stark white. And the contrast makes this turquoise blue water. Although we couldn't go to our original destination, the boat was taking us to a shipwreck that was further inland and that we could see from the glass bottom boat. Did you know that there are more than 300 shipwrecks in Bermuda? The reason for these shipwrecks isn't because of the infamous Bermuda Triangle. It's actually because the water is so shallow and the coral reefs are everywhere that it hits the bottom of people's boats and causes them to sink. Bermuda has the most shipwrecks per square mile than anywhere else on the planet. As we were riding in the boat, our tour guide actually pointed out the third tip of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the Atlantic Ocean where a number of aircrafts and ships have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. After seeing the shipwreck, it was time for us to head to our snorkeling destination. We'd be snorkeling on a coral reef. Dad wasn't up for snorkeling, so that means we would go one at a time with Mom. Rory geared up first and jumped in the water right away.
I've been dreaming so much lately.
And Mom jumped in right behind me.
About your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me.
As you can see, the water was super clear and we could see everything underwater. There wasn't quite as much coral and fish as we saw in Fiji, but there was still lots to look at. One thing we want to know is that the current was pretty strong here. Luckily, Mom is a strong swimmer, but someone who is not as comfortable might have some trouble.
Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think you're beautiful, and now I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down, and I don't know how I would do without you. Yeah, you pull me up when I'm falling down.
At this point, it was Sage's turn to come in and snorkel. However, while Sage was getting ready to come in and snorkel, one of the other snorkelers got stung by a highly venomous blue bottle jellyfish. Blue bottle jellyfish swim in schools of fish, so if there was one, there would definitely be more coming. So the captain made everyone get out of the water for everyone's safety. At that point, we had a nice relaxing boat ride back to the cruise ship. We booked this excursion through the cruise ship, and the tour company is called Captain Kirk's Coral Reef Adventures.
Check out the YouTube channel. Yeah, check it out.
That evening, it was formal night for dinner, so we went around taking pictures with the different photographers on board. And then for the dessert, I'm going to take the French tropical fruit. Can I please have for my appetizer, mac and cheese,
Mac and cheese.
for my main. As See, cruises are all about having fun with your family. We turned in for the night after a long day, and we can't wait for you to join us for our next episode when we go to the Azores. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Bye!